Now you have sound. There you go. Now I'm talking to myself. You can go away now.
I'm sorry, it's dripping.
Oh, it's dripping. Now you have sound. Just had a bit of a problem here. We've had a coffee explosion. We've had an issue, not a problem. We don't have problems. We have challenges. Just had a coffee explosion. My wife, you could see what Hannah's doing. She's underneath this computer, removing coffee. It went everywhere. One cup of coffee just exploded. Who would have ever thought it was possible that one cup of coffee could cause so many problems? Well, it has. And can you stop doing that now? Because it's actually shaking the camera. But we're here. We're alive. We're the building. And it's great to be here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. It's great to be here. This is coffee spillage everywhere. It's all over this wall. It's all over the floor. If anyone has any ideas on how to remove coffee from a white wall, that would be extremely helpful. Anyway, this is it. This is day 4. Guys, how are you getting on? How many of you are on the 12-week challenge? This is day 4 of how to upgrade your life. How many of you are on this 12-week challenge? What I want you to do is grade your performance so far on moving towards your goal. Out of 100, what would you give yourself? You know, what would you give yourself out of 100? Tell me now. Tell me right now. Good morning. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you very much. If you're watching this now, brilliant. If you haven't shared this, share it. Let's get it out there. Let's change the world. Because what we're about to do today is big. Give yourself a score out of 100. Out of 100 for what you are working towards achieving, and ask yourself the question, now what needs to be done? Now what needs to be done? Write that down. Now what needs to be done? And is that like me? This is so important that we start to think about the person that we want to be. We create the ideal self, right? We dare to dream about the person that we want to become. We design this person. We think about it. And then every time we behave like this, we ask this question. So it's not even like me. It's a statement. That's like me. It's time for us to do ourselves proud. Who is excited about making themselves proud? Hey? Rather than looking for the world to give you something back, that you decide that it's time for you to upgrade your life. Because today is big, today is massive, and today is let's stop playing around. It's nice to play around. It's good to have fun. Who likes to have fun? Me. But who realizes that the time is now? We're talking about upgrading your life. And we're talking about building what we now call the 3.65 version of you. It is the updated version. It is the better you. And we've been looking at some pretty fundamental things this week. And one of them, the key fundamentals to all of this, one of the key fundamentals to all of this is really looking at what you want to keep, looking at the core of you, the real part of you. Who believes this? Just tell me whether you believe this or not. Yes or no. How many of you believe this? You see, the reason people aren't performing as well as they want to, the reason they aren't performing as well as they want to is, I don't know, you know. Tell me this, those of you that have not been on your 12-week challenge, those of you that have not been putting the effort in that you want to, ask yourself why. What is it? I'll tell you why. We're going to look at this today. But why do you think it is? See, I don't know all of you, but I know lots of people. I've spent my life studying people from all over the world, from all different walks of life, and always looking for clues and for patterns. And the real key is recognizing, and this is what I wanted to touch on. Do you believe that within your DNA, right, with every cell of your body, here is your DNA, that this DNA was born into this world already encoded for you to do something, or for you to be in a certain way, for you already had your gifts in here. Your gifts were already here. And, you know, it's just like left or right-handed. You kind of went with, it was already kind of programmed. Whether you believe this or not, just come on board with me, right? The fact that you were, and you played with those little gifts as a child. You found them, whatever it was. And for some reason, like many people, you were told, it was kind of trained out of you. It was beaten out of you in many ways, maybe even physically. Some people were, but definitely emotionally. No, don't do that. Do this. You're told to sit, be still. But those gifts are still there, right? So when we ask you to go back in time and think about what was it that was special about you, what was it that was special about you before all of this, way, way, way back? Most of us have lost our way. Most of us have had difficulty. Most of us have had extreme pain, extreme whatever it is, but we're still here. You're still here. You've made it. You have to be able to recognize the fact that you made it. You're here today. But what I'm asking you to do when you go back and think, well, what? And even if, just imagine that you did, that what were you put on this earth to do? Difference, what was it? And then what happened is most of us just grew up and things happened to us. And we had horrible experience. This kind of shaped us. It shaped us. And it kind of encoded our DNA. This is the bit that makes you special, right? But this kind of got lost, but it's still there. It's still there. And that's why you're watching this. The reason you turn up every day and because you know that the greatness in you is still there. Yeah, why are you here? It's a good question. Why do so many of you turn up every single day? What is it about this? What is it about you? You see, what we really need to look at today is we're going to put a new processor in place. We're going to put a new processor in place, but we're going to take parts of the old processor and put it into this new one. Why? Because this is version 3.65. This is 3.65, a new updated version of you. And when we look at computers, look, even today, computers with the core processors and the dual processors, I don't know, but I still think my computer is only really good at doing one thing at a time, right? People say it can do multiple things at a time. I don't think it does. It just ends up doing a couple of things pretty well, but not as well as if the computer was just doing one thing. Why? Because the computers were designed by us, and we are not perfect. You might want to write this down. Again, hugely impactful. You ready? Program, programmer, programmed. Programmer, programmed, programmer. Right? So we have running. Who programmed you? You came into this world slightly unprogrammed. Your DNA, what came around your DNA was your programming, what you experienced, what you learned. You came into this world, you weren't ready. You know, you learned by copying and mimicking. You were told. And this is what has shaped you. But now is the time. We are programming ourselves every day, but it's not easy. It really isn't easy to program yourself for success. It takes effort. It takes work. It takes, in many cases, sacrifice. And some people don't want to hear this, but will say it anyway. When do we grow? We tend to grow when we have to suffer. That's when most of us come through. You know, there are some people that'll be watching this and maybe they'll think that this isn't true. Maybe they'll think it's rubbish, but that's okay. That's okay. What do you think? Look at today, and I believe this will be one of the most powerful days we will ever have on My 365, because today's the day when you're going to look at the processor in here, right? And we want to look at what drives this. What is driving you? Now, I've been thinking about this a lot. And I was thinking that what I want to drive is love, right? I want to drive love. I wanted this to be the first thing. Love here. The next thing, I want to give love to the world. I want to love what I do. That's what I want, the core part of my processor to give love, right? Then I wanted this part to be inspired. That's the next layer. To breathe life into what I'm doing and to breathe life into the world. Then I wanted the next part of this to produce a lot of work, hard work, dedication, keep churning out work. That's what I want to do. I'm not saying this should be for you. That's up to you to decide. The next level would be fun, to have fun with all of this, right? That's me. What about you? And I encourage you to draw a circle and think about what is it that you want to bring out into the world, right? Regardless of what's happened to you, you still have a choice. You have a choice right now of how you think, feel, and act. Most of us are victims to our conditioning. We think we're but we don't have to. We can rise up. We can be more. We can do more. We can achieve more. You know it and I know it. Am I right or am I right? You know I'm right. But for me, this is where I've made a change today. I don't want this to emanate love. I want this here, the me, the core of me, to believe in me, right? To believe, I believe in me. And I think of this like flashing red, boom, boom, boom. The heart of me, believing me. I believe in me. I believe in me. Now, probably like you, I didn't believe in myself for years. And still time to time, maybe I don't. But not for very long, because I recognize that I need to believe in me. Then what do I want to be around this belief? To be around this belief. I want love to come out of this belief, right? Then what do I want? I want inspiration. You know, I want to believe, I want to breathe life into what I do. Then what do I want to do? That comes out of my core processor. Hard work, dedication, passion. Hard work, passion, dedication, right? Then the next part. What do I want? I want fun. Fun, 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 fun. What about you? This is such a powerful exercise for you guys to do, but it's easy just to write down. And of course, the thing is, I want you to understand is that this processor, we have to install it over time, and it can take time for it to really start working, for us to test, operate, tote, test, operate, test, exit, test, operate, test, exit. Keep testing it, doing one thing at a time. If you do this, which I strongly suggest you do, how would you know it was working? How would you know it was working? If you want, we can look at this sometime, and we can look at the power of beliefs. Thank you so much for all of you that did that exercise yesterday. This broadcast is going to run on a little bit longer, but I think it's important, don't you? The question that I asked yesterday really brought up some fascinating things of asking. And that thing down about Tim Ferriss, that Tim Ferriss interviews me. I'm just looking for the question I put out yesterday and the most common beliefs that people have. Here we go. Really interesting. The most common one, when I get back on, that was the top. There's 3 at the top. When I lose weight, I'll put it back one. Most common belief: I am responsible for other people, and I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough, right? That's what a lot of people believe. Can you not see that we have to change that? And by the way, if you do believe that you're not good enough, that's not the core of you. The core of you, if you believe that you're not, that's not here. It's just that you haven't got in touch with this. You haven't breathed life into the core of you. If you believe you're not good enough, this is all to do with your programming. It's not the essence of who you are. Makes sense? Does it make sense? Yes or no? You are more than what has happened to you. Of course, what's happened to you has affected you, but you're still here. You're still in the game. And it's time for you to decide, yeah, I want to believe in myself. How do you do that? Well, we'll be looking at that over the next few weeks. But most of you know already. Some of you have been watching weeks, months. Let's take it to a whole new level. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast today. I'd take some time to think about this. Take some time to think about. Do you all agree with that? That the essence of who you are is... Yes or no? I know. I believe in you. Thanks for watching today, guys. Really appreciate you guys showing up. We all know if we all told our life stories to everyone, what we would see is we've all had suffering, we've all had difficulty, but that doesn't have to define us. It can make us better, but it's time for us to take our lives to a whole new level. Thank you for watching. Let's do this. Looking forward to people's reflections on this. All the best. Much love. Oh, let me make my quick minute review. Powerful review today, I believe. Here we go. Here we go. It's time for the 1 minute review. So what are we looking at today? We've been looking at this week about building a new version of yourself, the 3.65 version of you. But what we've been thinking about is, what do you want the essence of you to be? If this was your new programmer, your new processor that we're going to put inside your body, put inside your mind, what is it that you want to emanate right from the inside here? For me, it's all about belief, believing in myself, then loving what I do, then being inspired, then hard work. If you believe that you're not good enough, this is not the essence of you. That is something that something went wrong there with the live broadcast. Thank you so much, everyone. See you tomorrow.